Hey, I got a big old pot of beans on, and nothing goes better with a big old pot of beans than a big old pan of southern cornbread. Let me show you what I got going on here. What you're going to need for this recipe, you're going to need some yellow cornmeal, some self-rising flour, and if you do not have self-rising flour, you can use all-purpose flour. What you will do is you will use a cup of all-purpose flour, take out 2 teaspoons of that, and then add and mix in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You're going to need some buttermilk, you're going to need some salt, an entire stick of butter, and 1 egg. You are also going to need cast iron to cook this cornbread in. You can do it in a glass pan.
Stop it. Get some help.
But please don't. Please use cast iron. This recipe will make a large 10 or 12-inch cast iron skillet of cornbread, or 2 small 8-inch cast iron skillets of cornbread like I have here. I am preheating my oven to 425. I'm going to spray these pans with some vegetable oil. I'm going to do that over the sink so I don't make a huge mess on my counter. I'm going to split this butter and put half in each pan. While my oven is preheating, I am going to put these pans in there and let the pans get hot. This lovely cast iron get nice and hot, and the butter is going to get all nice and golden and melty. While the pans are preheating, I'm going to mix up my cornbread. I'm going to go with 2 cups of yellow cornmeal, 1 cup of self-rising flour, and then you need a little salt, and by a little salt I mean this much, like that. Half a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons. Then I'm going to crack an egg, pop that right in. Then I'm going to add about 2 cups of buttermilk. You might need 2 cups plus a little bit. And you want it to kind of look like that. You just want it to come together, be kind of batter consistency. We're going to set this on the counter until our pans are preheated and the butter is all melted. My pans have preheated in the oven. The butter is all nice and melty. I'm going to swirl the butter in that pan, and then I'm going to pour most of the butter from both of these pans into the batter. Not quite all. You want to leave just a little bit to skim the bottom of your pan. Never a bad idea to leave a pot holder sitting on the handles of a cast iron pan, because you're going to burn yourself. I mean, you're going to try not to, but I promise you're going to burn yourself. And then we're going to mix the butter into the batter. And then pour half of your cornbread batter into each of the pans, or into your 1 pan if you're lucky enough to have a big one. Mine was a little uneven, so I'm just going to even it out. Now you're going to put this back in the oven at 425 and check on it in about 20 minutes.
A few moments later.
Okay, so after 20 minutes, I can tell it's going to need about 5 more minutes. 25 minutes total, and this is ready. I'm going to let it sit here in these pans and cool off for about 5 minutes. Okay, so here's how Mom would get her cornbread out of the pan. She just shake it like that. It just depends on how well seasoned cast iron pan is, but that's what cornbread is supposed to look like. Crusty, yummy, delicious. Let's do the other pan. Look at that. Cornbread. It's gonna be delicious. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. I also will say that this cornbread is a little bit light. If I was to do it again, I would give it more time in the oven, maybe another 8 to 10 minutes, because I like my crust a little bit darker than this. Before we go, let's have a taste of this cornbread. So hot. I'm gonna put a little dab of butter. Whoops. Y'all, this is the best cornbread you're ever gonna have. Crusty on the top, tender throughout. You know what it tastes like? Corn.
Yeah, like corn. Boy, nothing but corn.
And butter and buttermilk, and it's not sweet at all, and you're gonna love it. Please do try this recipe. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whenever it is, wherever you are.